This is number 3 in our series on the book of Hebrews, and we're looking at Jesus, the promised Son. We're looking at Jesus as exemplified by various terms here in the book of Hebrews. And I want to read some of Hebrews chapter 1 to begin with, because it really takes us to the heart of the message and the theme for this time. Hebrews 1:1, Free Bible version. God, who in the past spoke to our forefathers through the prophets at various times and in many ways, has in these last days spoken to us through his Son. And so immediately you get the perspective. Yes, God has spoken to us in the past, and the Old Testament is a record of that, how God has spoken to humanity, to his chosen people, to those specific prophets and others, down through the recorded history up until that point. Many ways, various times, but in these last days, right now, he's spoken to us through his Son. And that's really very significant, because Paul is getting to the point of saying, yes, all that was great and all that was good, and as a Pharisee of the Pharisees, I certainly had endorsed that, but now I understand what it really means, and that's what I'm explaining to you through the book of Hebrews. And it goes on to say this: God appointed the Son heir of everything and made the universe through him. And that recalls John chapter 1, which says there wasn't anything made that was made. It was all done through the Word, through the person of God that became human, Jesus Christ. Goes on to say, the Son is the radiant glory of God and the visible expression of his true character. Jesus says when he comes, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father, the visible expression of his true character, the name of God, which is his character. And I think that's something that we really need to emphasize here. When the Son comes, that is God himself demonstrating who he is. And by the way, in Hebrew thought, son of meant the same as. If you said somebody was son of this, it meant you were that person. When Jesus says he's the Son of Man, he's saying, I'm part of humanity. Son of Man means the same as man. Do you get the point? The Son is that expression of God's true character. He sustains everything by his powerful command. When he had provided cleansing for sin, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty in heaven. He was placed much higher than the angels, since he received a greater name than them. And by the way, name again is associated with character, nature, authority, and so on. God never said to any angel, you are my son, today I have become your father, or I will be a father to you and he will be a son to me. Jesus is this son, not in the sense of somebody who is born, but in terms of place, of status. We often mistakenly read only begotten as having some kind of point in time at which you're born. No, it's talking in the Greek about a position in the family. That's why in the Free Bible version, only begotten is translated the one and only Son of God. And son in the sense not that you were, that the Son was born, but that the Son shared with the Father and with the Spirit there as the Trinity, right there in the beginning. And then verse 6, also when he brought his firstborn son into the world, he said, let all God's angels worship him. You remember, we've seen that he's very concerned to, that's Paul, to make sure that people don't simply see Jesus as an angel, as a supernatural being, but not God. He truly is God, and he is representing him. So let's go back to some of those quotes that are in the notes for this time, because I think those are also very helpful for us as we look at this. Mayor Solochevic, either Jesus is the Son of God or he is not. There's no two ways about it. As C.S. Lewis says, you can't simply say Jesus was a good man or a good teacher, a great moral philosopher. Jesus came and he identified himself as the Son of God. And either he was crazy, a madman, somebody completely deluded, or he was what he said he was. And I think that is where we have to leave this particular study and concentrate on Jesus as the Son of God. May you, in your study this week, be blessed as you think about what that really means, how Jesus is the visible expression of the character of God.